Hi there. I'm coming to you live today from the beautiful beach of Montana de Oro. I hope you can see the beach and the ocean in the background. And I think far in the distance, there it is, you can see Moro Rock. This is a particularly poignant place for me. I actually, my husband and I came here a lot when we first started dating on these very sand dunes. And we actually got married right here in the Central Coast of California. But I wanted to talk to you today about self-care, not being selfish, in fact being selfless, and not engaging in self-care. In fact, I think is one of the most selfish acts that we can have, because ultimately when we don't engage in self-care, it does lead it does lead us to crash and burn. It does lead us to get injured or get very sick or other things like that. I actually had an incident, it's almost a year ago now, that I had a 6-week unexplained fever last year, starting in early June and went all the way through till mid-July. And the doctors couldn't diagnose what was wrong with me. I did a whole series of tests on my head, CAT scan, MRI, kidney, urology work. Nothing was wrong. Everything came back good, negative, good. But I still had this fever, and I still could barely lift my head. And for me, that was the time, that was the way I believe that I was being sent messages from the universe to slow down, not just to slow down, but to really just truly come to a complete stop. And from that place of complete stop, I had to rebuild my life. I had to rebuild what my definition of self-care, because you see, I've been in health and wellness for up to 7-8 years at that point, and had been a yogi for over 20 years, have meditated for over a decade. So I preach this, I teach this to my clients, and so I thought I had a really good handle on what self-care looked like, but evidently not, because here I was, flat on my back, barely able to move for a long time. And it's in this space of barely being able to move, recognizing that I couldn't be the mom that I wanted to be, couldn't be the wife that I wanted to be, or do any of the other things in life that are important to me, that I recognized that truly engaging in self-care, truly making it an integral part of my life, not just a checklist item, not something that, okay, check, I did my yoga this morning, or check, I did, I meditated for 20 minutes. No, this had to become as critical to me as breathing. That's when it was going to change. That's when life was going to shift for me. And you know what's interesting is that a lot of my clients tell me, I don't have the time. I don't have time for self-care. I don't have time to get healthy and take the time I need to cook healthy recipes, or whatever it might be, right? Whatever that block might be for you. But I'm going to tell you that when you take the time that seems like impossible to squeeze into your overly productive or overly busy schedule, then time opens up for you. Those of you who know me personally know that I live a very full life. I do a lot. I volunteer. I'm on a couple of different boards. I'm active in my children's school. I have a full-time job, and I'm an entrepreneur as well. This is not to mention that I'm also a wife and a spiritual being. So life seems to always find its way in, to find the grooves and to have the flow that I need. And I'm actually looking at the ocean right now, and I'm reminded that water is always going to find a way, right? If you dig a canal, if you dig something, a tunnel, nature is going to fill it in. I think there's a saying that nature abhors a vacuum. So there's no such thing as you running out of time. What happens is the things that are unimportant, what we think they might be important, but what is truly unimportant, those things fall away, and the time shows up for the things that are truly important in your life. And that's what I've experienced in this last 12 months, since I was flat on my back, unable to move, having to reevaluate how I was living my life and the things I was doing in my life and the people I had in my life. And life is so full and so rich and so beautiful that I can't even begin to express. So I hope this helps you. I would love to get your comments on what it is that you do for self-care and how it is that you make it an integral part of your life. And until we meet again, remember to be kind to yourself.